for the Storm Spirit, so I expect one of the bans to be hero that does well against the Storm Spirit, but they can't ban it all, so they need some kind of a lockdown for Storm Spirit. This is a really early pickup for Storm, since they already picked 4 heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, Storm seems pretty good this game against Weaver
5
Necro, right?
seconds remaining.
Magic damage, you buy lockdown items, Scythe of Ice, Orchid, always going to be handy against Weaver Necro. Do you think Team Spirit has enough lockdown already to deal with a Storm? You know, early on maybe you can get a couple of kills, but it feels like once he gets Kaya, Orchid, he's going to be pretty unstoppable zipping around.
It's going to be a lot on Storm Spirit's shoulders this game, because if he is going to use his mana properly, he's not gonna die. That's the thing. They have lockdown in terms of Necro ulti, but if he can dodge all that stuff plus a global silence, he shouldn't be threatening the team fight so far. They have one more pick. I just need to scroll through the hero list to see what would suit them. So it's probably gonna be a Necro on and off lane with the Weaver. Like all these heroes, sorry, not with Weaver. So all these heroes can be played at pretty much any single lane, Necro, Weaver, and the Wraith King. So one of those need to be mid. So it's probably going to be a Necro on the mid lane, but they still need... they need a position 5 hero, from what I see, that provides some kind of a lockdown.
Yeah, like usually I'd see this and I'd throw you the bone. I'd give you the option saying, Weaver could be a position 4 Lacoste, but you don't really see it this game, do you?
I mean, Weaver position 4 was mostly picked when you had Draw Ranger in your team, and then she would excel with the extra damage. Yeah,
Wraith King as well feels in a similar boat. His Wraith Fire Blast got nerfed. I think now he only feels decent in a core role. I don't know if you can pull off that kind of roaming support Wraith King anymore. So
especially if you have a Tusk in your team already. So
it feels like 3 cores from the first 3 picks, right?
Yeah, but they banned Lina, so they still think it could be a mid hero. In my opinion, it's going to be a position 5 hero. Tusk can be played as 5, but at the laning stage, he is not that strong. He has good partners to play with. If you play him, let's say, with the Necro or with the Weaver, that lane is also strong if Tusk is going to be played as 5. But I think they need more control in the last hero that they're going to pick.
Well, the last couple of times they've picked Weaver Wraith King together, they've had a Keeper of the Light, but obviously banned out by Winstrike in that second phase. I was just looking back to make sure, Weaver has been their offlane. It's been Hester Joe that's been playing the Weaver over the past couple of matches. It honestly looks like it's going to be FNG's hero last. Winstrike, though, with their final pick, Arc Warden, for their side of the draft to end up looking pretty nasty. Team Spirit do have that response, though, with the final pick of the game. Unless Wraith King buys a Blink Dagger reasonably early on, you don't have much gap close or any way to kind of break forward past Tiny inside the magnetic field. You'd love to catch the Silencer out. That's probably going to be Weaver's job.
So I'm looking at Lion. This is the hero that comes to my mind. And you can't have hero like a... Okay, so it's going to be a mid hero, actually.
So where does this leave us?
FNG is going to play position 4 Necro. Position 5 Necro, whatever.
Is this happening? Is this real life? I don't think this is something I've ever seen before. Like, I've seen Necro
in pubs, right? Trying to support with Necro.
I've seen position 4, but going full position 5 is very interesting to me.
But this hero relies so much on having his spells maxed out. He needs to have some stacks on Deadpool so he can regen in the lane. If you're not CSing, the hero is not strong. That's the whole point of the hero. I gotta say, I really don't like Team Spirit's draft in this game. Like, there's so much weird stuff happening. Also, they don't have the best setup for Sunstrikes. Necro and Weaver doesn't provide anything. They have a Tusk plus a Wraith King stun. Not sure if that's going to be enough. Also, Invoker doesn't really provide you the lockdown against the Storm Spirit. I gotta say,
he might give you like just enough in combination with Tusk and Wraith King, but yeah, it never feels good.
It could be a Quaswax Invoker played like that, so you have a Cold Snap, Earn, build, maybe transfer into Orchid at one point.
And just play faster.
Yes.
We'll see what they get up to. So 9 on the Invoker. Well, take a look. What's he gone for? Not leveling anything up yet, so he's not gone Sunstrike. Iceberg getting 4 tips, immediately slammed in his face.
He just said thank you. That's a lot of tips. 4 tips.
There's a lot of tips.
Let me just check the items on a Necro.
Yeah, Invoker's going Quaswax. He's gone Quas level 1, which is 99% an indicator. You're not going to go Exort.
Yeah, you want to have Quaswax against the Storm Spirit. I didn't think through it completely. Not sure about the second item on him. He could go for that Orchid, which was kind of popular back then. Didn't see it for quite some time, but it doesn't matter. You just need to adjust to a situation you're in right now.
Thompson Meteor Hammer, maybe?
30 seconds to battle.
bring out the sick build.
I saw one of the games. There was 2 Chinese teams who were playing in ESL, and Invoker had Tornado plus Meteor Hammer and had that Tornado lift time. So Faceless Void used a 4-man chrono and he used Tornado at the same time, and they didn't do anything. They were just in the air in the chrono.
That's the best. Like, I think Chrono and Winter's Curse.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about. Well, Silent grabs up Bounty in top. No fear in a battle bottom. Skitter's going in, but Non-Grata's tiny. We'll walk it all off. FNG's done a decent amount of damage here with just Death Pulse and a couple of hits. But I think Non-Grata and No Fear, they've got tons of regen. Both of them have double packs of Tangos. They've got Salve, Mangoes, and they block off their wave. Feels like it might get a little bit awkward down here for FNG.
Yeah, also they have 2 Stout Shields on that lane, so they want to mitigate a lot of right-click damage coming out from drawing the creeps aggro, since they're both melee heroes.
Double Stout Shield. Good luck, FNG. Oh, he's trapped between the 2 of them. Let's see if No Fear can do too much here. It does get that Fissure. Non-Grata holding the tree for the toss forward, but Wraith King has held them back. At least for now. FNG is really toying with them, playing with fire at this moment. The Stout Shields just make them feel invulnerable in this lane until Wraith King starts hitting them.
Yeah, you said playing with fire. He already used his Fairy Fire, so he can't play with that anymore. He was afraid that he's gonna die right there. Let me see the CS on a mid lane. Invoker, 1 CS against... oh man, Storm Spirit 6 and 2. So, I gotta say, one thing about Iceberg, he pretty much always wins his lane. He plays super aggressive, and you can see it right here. I mean, he's a Storm Spirit. He's really not a lane dominator.
And it's really not going to get better until 9 gets that second null. The double blades of attack for the phase boots. Last hitting in this lane's never fun. And then obviously Iceberg's going to battle back. Get his regen coming out. Maybe get a bottle in a little bit. Top lane, not looking too bad for Winstrike. Always want to fly with Silent up here, keeping things pretty on lock. You know, Hester Joe's getting a bit of CS. Biva's being annoying and moving forward. But Silent is still farming reasonably well in that top lane.
Thanks and have fun.
That wouldn't be a Gary B cast without missing First Blood. FNG.
Oh man, I don't feel this Necro is gonna be useful unless this game goes past, let's say, 50+ minutes. Then his aura is gonna deal a ton of the damage. But him being a position 5 hero as a Necro, his ult is still gonna do the same thing. The only thing that concerns me is he's not gonna have mid lane though.
Oh, they're moving in onto Iceberg. Oh, he's so smart. TP back onto the tower. Bottle's there. Fill himself back up. Now 9 and Biv are completely out of mana. They've got nothing left to throw in. Top, are you going to go? Hester Joe is under a sentry here. Silent with the flux. Always want to fly, trying to sprint forward. Turns with a swarm. Hester Joe's going. Hey, hero mode. He gets the kill. Can he get more? Oh, Shikuchi, how long? Not quick enough. Silent will walk back. Still has a swarm on him. He's going to die. A double kill for Hester Joe's Weaver, and that is an absolute hero moment. Realizes he cannot stand his ground, cannot run and hide, so he stands and fights.
He got so much gold out of it, and I love the build. You have 1-1-1, so your damage output on level 3 is insane, but the problem is your Shikuchi is on cooldown for 12 seconds, and Weaver is just so slow, 279 move speed. I think 9 just denied an Observer Ward mid, so Iceberg doesn't get money from it. Poor Storm. Oh, they're gonna go on silent.
They've got him trapped in. Biver with some great shards yet again. This Weaver is starting to look very scary. I mean, we're going to start considering potentially could buy a bottle if he wanted to here, but you know, the Blightstone, get into that Hurricane Pike. Weaver is very slippery this game. I mean, he's got to worry about the tiny burst damage. But outside of that...
Oh, they're going to go on silencer again.
With the Weaver just standing here, pumping the damage in, there's nothing Always Wanna Fly can do. Absolutely nothing.
I gotta say, I don't like Arc Warden if he's not mid in this meta. Since you're playing 2-1-2 lanes, his Flux is not gonna deal damage. You always have a hero that can stand near you.
It's one of those weird toss-ups, like, they feel like they need to get all the farm, they want items faster, they want that Hand of Midas. Safe lane feels like the best place to be, but then you don't get the full utilization out of your skills. Can they make a move on non-grata bottom? FNG's here with his illusion. Don't know if he's trying to play mind games with a tiny. Not gonna work out. Invoker's been given mid completely. Absolutely free to himself. Iceberg has been spotted here, looking for the bounty rune at 5 minutes. Swarm will land, and Hester Joe grabs the bounty rune. Still has this last word and Arcane Curse over on him, but no one's going to be able to chase forward. Down bottom, the bounty runes getting battled over. Non-grata having to deal with the skeletons, but that's free money for him for now.
So it's 2 for 2 on bounty runes. Silencer, man, this hero feels so weak when you're not snowballing, if you're not getting the kills, if you're dying before getting the kills. Just by looking at it, you have 0 stolen intelligence. This is one of those games where you're gonna be pretty useless until you get global silence.
Yeah. I mean, I was...
Here's just free food, look at it.
Yeah. Non-grata does dive bottom. Looks like there's another bit of a dive down there. Always Wanna Fly should be falling top. They're chasing Earthshaker bottom. So will drop. Earthshaker has been found, no fear. Stunned up by the Wraith King, and down he goes. 2 for 1. Oh, 2 for nothing across the map there.
The good thing about Team Spirit's lineup is they have a Wraith King, and no one on Winstrike sides has any kind of a mana burn.
Do they get silent here? Hester Joe? 12 one charges. I thought maybe he goes for it.
The problem was that Arc Warden had 9 charges, so a lot of juke potential.
The balance. But yeah, every time a Radiant hero sees the silencer, if they have a stun, it's 1 stun and he's dead. 630 HP. 1 spell gets thrown his way. He does not survive to live another day. Non-grata does just continue trying to find a little bit of room for himself down bottom.
Yeah, they're doing exactly what they need to do. They're rotating Earthshaker top, but it feels like they know something is up. He's not showing on the bottom lane. They don't have the vision on him. They're just playing safe. Look where Biver is standing, and Weaver is really hard to catch. They have not enough lockdown with these 3 heroes.
Yeah. They see the Storm farming off to the side. I think they've seen a couple of these heroes move in. Triple Dire Observer Ward all the way from mid up towards top. But Team Spirit has that one little advantage. They've got the extra bit of information over them. They've seen the movement in. They're ready and set up. So all this takes is Winstrike to dive a little bit too far. They've got the backstab and they've got the TP reaction potential here for Spirit.
They know
Winstrike go for anything, but it's going to be Spirit that move in first. Baiting reaction now as 9 comes in with the EMP. Hester Joe moves forward and Silent absolutely screwed. Dived in under the trees. Joe will find that kill with absolute ease. 9 once more with a tornado towards the Earthshaker, still hit by the Swarm. Always Wanna Fly, kill that bug. Come on, he's going to give his own life to save No Fear, potentially. But a snowball! Biver just keeps on going, moves forward, and Chat Totem will only buy you a little bit of time. With the Fisher thrown out will be his last dying move. Team Spirit absolutely bulldozer them.
Yeah, good reaction. Invoker moved from them. mid lane to the top, walk there, and Necro TP top, even though it was not needed. He didn't really contribute to anything to the team fight, doesn't even have boots at this point.
Poor Silencer.
And Silencer is gonna struggle so much this game unless he gets a kill with Arcane Curse or just gets the last hit on a big hero on the Radiant.
Oh, does 9 solo kill him here? Does 9 solo kill him? Iceberg, he's got a little bit of mana left, and in comes Nongrata. Tiny arrives, potentially to save the day and turn it around for a kill onto 9, but he's healing up. That Quas coming into play, he's actually going to survive. Nongrata there with an Invis rune. Tries to think about going for that dive, but my goodness, 9 just cutting it so close.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the region from Quas, that's the level 4 Quas. Plus he had a magic one charges, phase boost, pretty speedy, hard to catch.
FNG does have a Weaver as backup. Tiny, all alone. No one making a move there. Bottom lane, and no fear and silent. They've given up on top. They don't want to be top anymore. Tower's gone, so they move bottom. But this feels like one of the more awkward situations in Dota nowadays, where your opponents get ahead and they take your safe lane tower, and you didn't trade for theirs. And all of a sudden, you're at thousands of deficit in terms of net worth. I mean, it's only 3k for now, and a little kill like that on Tusk will help remedy it just a touch. Maybe if they can get the Weaver as well, but a time lapse back gets Hester Joe away from Silent and Iceberg, and that's a 2-core rotation top.
They have no vision whatsoever on that side of the map. They're playing way too aggressive. We're already on tier 2 tower, didn't have enough info what's happening on the bottom side. So they're going to rely so much on Tiny's Blink Dagger. Once he gets the Blink Dagger, he's 1,000 gold away from it. Runes are spawning, so there's going to be a fight.
Get the bounty. Get the bounty. That EMP absolutely destroys their mana pools. Nongrata.
It's going to be 4-0.
For bounty. Oh, yeah, you're right. And an illusion in bottom, but it's going to be Tiny that's caught. Swarm thrown in. Hester Joe pops the wand. And with that, Shiguchi just about touches the Tiny down with a last bit of damage.
Yeah, I talked a lot about the Storm Spirit and them not having enough control for him. Same goes for Weaver on Radiant side. Like, they have no hero that controls Weaver. Arc Warden trying to get Hand of Midas. Not sure if that's the correct play. We'll see. Both teams are playing really greedy this game, especially Team Spirit with the lineup that they have. Like, they're pulling it off. With this kind of a greedy lineup, they're 5k gold ahead of the Dire.
And they keep buying themselves more and more time. You know, it's 11 minutes in, Silencer still not level 6. And you were talking about ways to kill the Weaver, but also to kill the Invoker, right? You need Global, you need Blink Echo Slam, and these take time to come out. Iceberg is being a very, very annoying little Storm Spirit. Wraith King will throw a Wraithfire Blast in there after getting juked out a little bit by the Ball Lightning, but FNG holding Reaper's Scythe is always a very scary prospect for a Storm if you're balling into the middle of Team Spirit, who have grouped up 4 heroes down here. Tornado gets launched with the EMP, and would you believe it? Always want to die. Silencer yet again falls flat on his face.
I'm not sure Necro needed to use the ulti there, but
definitely needed.
Yeah. Just
from position 5 to position 5, that is the biggest of middle fingers.
It's really big cooldown. It's 2 minutes,
yeah.
And it can change things a lot. The hero was dead anyway. He's not level 6, so he couldn't pop the global. No save whatsoever with other heroes.
But now he's in his head. Now FNG controls the brain of Always Want to Fly. The mentality game, the mentality battle. Team Spirit most certainly winning in that regard. 13-3. The Tornado clips the Storm. 9 doesn't want to go in and dive. It looks like Hester Joe is looking for Silent up at top. Swarm won't land though. Makes things a little bit awkward here for the Weaver. Silent turns to fight with that little clone. Quick time lapse back. Hester Joe, he's got to be a little wary here. Arc Warden very capable of dishing out massive amounts of damage. Going to pop another raindrop. The last raindrop charge gets popped there by the Weaver.
Killing spree.
That was a weird sound. Killing spree.
He just died to a tornado. Yeah, he's pinging it himself. We looked at each other like, where did he die? He's died behind his tier 2, nowhere near a creep wave. I think 9 just launched out a tornado. And
Gary B, I need you to focus.
that one's not on me. I accept the first blood one, but that kill there, not my fault that I missed that. And with a ghost walk, non grata, toss back. Will not help him at all. Tiny getting hunted down. Maybe an avalanche and a Fisher. Can they get him out of here? Iceberg's arriving, and Tiny tornado yet again clipping forward. The zip in from Iceberg is looking for FNG. He wants this kill, and he wants it desperately, but in comes the Wraith King. Finally, the Necro will fall. Can Team Spirit punish this storm with the shards? Perfect from Biver. It looks like they can. Very simply done. Take him down. Oh, they're not done. This one I'm not going to miss, hey, Lacoste? This one
Zoom
I'm
it
going
in, zoom it in. Oh man, as I mentioned, Always on a Fly is not going to have a good game. You can already see from the laning stage, the silencer doesn't come back that easily. You want to continue to move from a lane where you dominated, move to a different lane, smoke, TP, be active. You want to be near the kills to steal the intelligence, cripple other heroes, increase your damage. Right now, he's not doing anything. He's 0, 8, and 1. They have a global, so they should try to fight with it. Tiny has a Blink Dagger in 5 gold, so that's their go-to item.
I mean, even if the silencer wanted to recover, there's no room for it, right?
No.
Because the Tiny, like you said, he's getting his Blink now. He's been given all his space. So next in line for the throne of farm position, it's going to be no fear. But the trouble is, 9 is on his case. Takes him down to about 1/3 of his HP, but no finishing move. Hello. Tusk walks downhill, sees a target, but not a kill.
So full Spirit Vessel. He has 1 charge on it, which means that he can pretty much solo Earthshaker, even Storm Spirit, Silencer, if he catches one of those heroes from Invis. Let's see if it happens.
Well, that's the cold snap with a tornado. Ball lightning's there with the global silence, but that cold snap still going on Grata with the toss and the avalanche. Not accomplishing a hell of a lot. Drops them low, but will not get any kills until Always Wanna Fly arrives. Good 1 charges, though. Biver kept alive with the Spirit Vessel now as well, and non Grata. He got greedy. He got greedy. Tosses a hero forward, but there are so many lining up to take their names. No fear with Always Wanna Fly will retreat back towards Silent. But Team Spirit have just such a firm grasp on this game.
Yeah, I love what Biver was doing. He was just trying to bait them in. Tiny took the bait.
They immediately smoke as well. Taking that scrappy fight in the river, dropping low, making their opponents think they're going to go back and shrine or go back and farm, and Silent just caught with his pants down by his ankles. He had no idea that was coming.
Well, this should reveal the ward. This one, yeah.
Look at which one, there's like 7 of them around. This entire area, just a box of vision.
I love FNG's build. Just a casual racer, and now he's going for a cloak to mitigate some of the damage so that he doesn't die from a Tiny combo, or, I mean, Earthshaker can't pull off his combo anyway. He doesn't even have enough gold for a Blink Dagger at this point. He's so far away.
See ya. Earthshaker. Sent into the Nether Realm. Biver going to pay with his life there, and that's +2 for Always Wanna Fly. The first +2 of the game. It's going to +4. Is it coming? FNG heals back up to full. Arc Warden wants a piece of this action. FNG will finally die. Weaver, though, wants to get in on top of the Tiny. Shikuchi forward, looking for the damage on Grata. One more hit, the Swarm might take him down, but Hester Joe looking for Silent now. Is this a double kill? The Storm zaps over, but the cold snap, the EMP tornado. Silencer's going to get himself away from this, but the damage is done, and Iceberg will give himself over as an ultra kill to Hester Joe Rotten. Beyond godlike on this Weaver.
Sadly, Earthshaker died before, so that was not a rampage. They're not even using Great King. Great King didn't use his ulti a single time in this game. He didn't die. He's 2-0 and 3 and is getting closer to Radiance. 800 gold away. I really don't see Team Winstrike coming back into this game. They just don't have the heroes. I mean, if if they somehow Team Spirit overextends, they defend the base with Arc Warden. But all of their heroes are pretty mobile. Weaver, you have a Tusk with the Snowball, you have Quasfex Invoker, who's pretty much hasted at this point. They can all get into the bubble anyway.
Well, there's the D-Ward you were asking for. It took the Silencer 2 sentries, and Silent wastes his TP scroll, pops the Midas on the small creep, as that is all that remains in that camp. Good sentry with a toss back into the tower. Invoker potentially a massive kill here if they can grab it. The Global getting in with a Storm zipping forward. Nice Vortex in onto 9, but he still kept himself alive. Ghost walk away. This guy with, what level? Almost max level Quas. Feels unkillable at this point, and Team Spirit are ready, set up, trap sprung, in with a punch. Nice shards onto 2 as well. The Earthshaker looking for the Fisher, but he's lining it up into a snowball. He can't throw it out. Now the EMP will come. Good ball in from the Storm, but the Skyter Wraith King is ripping apart No Fear. That Echo Slam didn't do a hell of a lot. Invoker and Necro are dead, but it is Team Spirit looking for more casualties. No stun means that Tiny will survive, and all in all, that looks like technically a win for Winstrike.
Yeah, if you look at the graph, they actually gained more from it. Silent, just farming the jungle, the triangle. He feels the safest in that area because they just de-warded there, so they know that he's not threatened by the rotations. Every time the global is down, you can see Team Spirit playing aggressive, using a smoke, trying to make something happen.
Oh, Winstrike playing aggressively.
What a
nice.
play.
Biver, you god. He goes in for the snowball save, but he'll tank the toss instead. Does lose his life, unfortunately, but really nicely done.
He blinked in to tank the toss, so Weaver doesn't die. That's really good from his point of view, because Weaver would feed way too much gold at this point. It would be probably around 1k gold.
Yeah.
He's sitting on 514 net worth. Wise.
15 one. Look off.
15. Sorry, 15. Yeah, that's.
He's got a lot of kills. And I do like the BKB coming out as that secondary item. Maelstrom, Aquila, Treads, BKB, knowing that he already dishes out such a large amount of damage. He has the control from the Invoker.
Luckily for Winstrike, Earthshaker got the last hit on Invoker, so that's 800 gold for him, which means that he's only 100 gold short for a Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he got like 730 from the last fight when I saw in the fight recap. Puts him very close to Blink. Echo still on cooldown for 40 seconds.
I mean, there's always one thing that I like to say about Team Spirit. They're the team that you can have all the advantage in the world, but sometimes they don't know how to finish a game.
They've had that problem for quite some time.
Yeah, this is exactly what they need to do.
Yeah.
Get the Roche, give Aegis to Weaver. You have Wraith King with ulti, so it means it's gonna be 7 against 5.
This is where you start moving forward into your system. Like,
oh, okay. So Invoker picks up the Aegis.
okay.
Since Weaver has BKB and a time lapse, I guess that's the better choice, because she or he is not gonna die. Well, I always think it's a she, Weaver. I don't know. She spawns bugs, so it's a mother. It's a she.
Seahorses.
Yeah, that's not a seahorse, Gary.
How do you know? It's an alien creature. I think in the lore it calls it a he once, but I don't know. I do not know. Can't possibly say. So we're looking at Winstrike with a Blink Echo. Okay. No Fear says sit down. Pronouns, well, he doesn't care. Weaver's dead regardless. 10x kill streak, 886 gold into Silent's pockets. Now, Arc Warden with Boots of Travel, Maelstrom. And you were talking about Team Spirit struggling historically to close out games. It always used to feel like, it was an individual player's issue. It was like the Illidan problem, right?
Yeah.
That's how it used to be, That's what a lot of people called it when he was on Spirit, because it used to be around, Drow strats, and sometimes with Chaos Knight they would have this issue with pushing high ground. But now
they're gonna catch Storm on bottom.
They're still having issues. They definitely catch Storm on bottom. The global comes too late. Always want to fly. Tries to save his Storm, but it was never going to work out for him there.
Storm needs to be out there trying to push the waves. They also have Boots of Travel on Arc Warden, so he can be the one splitting the waves, just trying to cut it. Maybe the better choice for Team Spirit in the end would be if Weaver picked up that Aegis. So
Yeah.
they would be able to siege the tier 3 towers, maybe try to even close the game there.
It's always one of those weird and wonderful things with, like, players' internal timings, right? Because we can see, oh, Earthshaker got 700 gold. That means he's on 2,000. It means his blink is coming in 30 seconds. But in the heads of Team Spirit, they'd be like, oh, we screwed this Earthshaker so hard. He's never going to have blink. You know, we stopped him getting it here and here. And just adding that extra bit of money that he got from that one last hit, that one kill, may just have messed up Team Spirit's timings here. Still in a commanding position. 10,000 net worth lead. Necro now closing in on Glimmer Cape. 9 with the Alacrity. Aegis still in hand for another 2 minutes. Just looking to shove bottom tier 2. They've got the Blink Dagger on the Wraith King as that initiation tool as well, so they can use Invoker more as a counter initiation tool if needed.
What did he go for? 35 skeleton attack damage. I just love that talent.
It always feels bad when you have to go for the no reincarnation mana cost though.
In this game, he doesn't need to because they have zero tools. Most of the games you need to pick it up, but if you have 15 and 20 talent combined, that could be big. Skitter.
I mean, they just solo build like they take barracks. The skeletons destroy. Oh, he blinks away with the Wraith King. Doesn't want to continue that fight. It looks like they just want to try and wait for their BKBs. Maybe, yeah, okay, this is what I like to see. Tusk is going for Lotus Orb. They definitely needed one of those. So they'll have Glimmer, they'll have Lotus, they'll have maybe the Invoker BKB and the Blade Mail on Wraith King. And then around those items they can feel a little stronger, but it's felt like a bit of a waste of this Aegis, like you were saying. Maybe if it was on that Weaver, it could have done a lot more.
But they're respecting Winstrike way more. After that Echo, okay, this is exactly what Winstrike needs to do. They want to surprise them because Team Spirit expects them to just defend the base. If they could get a big kill on Invoker, that's not a big kill since he has Aegis.
That was very close to being a disaster. Nongrata does get hit by the Meatball and the Cold Snap. They jump past the Joe though. Can he get himself out of this dangerous situation? FNG, he's losing a lot of his HP. Hasta Joe is top. As Iceberg gets a bit of distance. Over the shards he goes. 9 is going to hunt down Silent, though, continuing forward. This Cold Snap cooldown keeps the fight going with that Spirit Vessel, but the Blink and the Echo slows it down. Silent escapes up onto the high ground. The Global is there, and Iceberg zips up as well. 9 with Aegis for how long? 14 seconds. Doesn't want to go too deep, but the Sunstrike, oh, Tornado got him regardless. Catches the Storm, dead for 50 with buyback. Team Spirit, though, looks like they'll just reset, calm down, think about their next objective.
The plan from Winstrike was good. Smoke out so they don't expect that you're going to be out of your base since you have a really good base defense. But the execution was not perfect. They should have timed it more around the Aegis expire time. Yeah. But since they caught the Invoker, that's the perfect target. You want to take him out first if possible. But he had the Aegis. Tiny missed the combo.
It was such a nice move from Biv. Like, honestly, this Biva Tusk has been spectacular. Like, he's got an Invis rune, which is kind of lucky to begin with. But he runs up, and he literally does this little movement to try and break a smoke on the high ground. And he nearly did it. He nearly broke the smoke there. Then he's in position to save the Invoker if he gets gone on, which he is, allowing 9 free movement. You know, so often we talk about core players' map movement, right? Like, oh, they're great at split pushing, or they know where to farm. But so often that space to farm or that space to move is created for you by one of your supports. And Biver is just like prime example of being able to open up massive areas of the map for things like this to happen. 2-man Tornado onto Earthshaker and the Arc Warden as Hester Joe moves towards Silent. The blink from Skitter will clear up the Arc Warden, and No Fear will follow his buddy into the grave immediately after. FNG has died just to the south of that fight as he went solo versus 3. He wants to go hero mode, but Nongrata gets picked off with a double kill for the Wraith King, making things look easy for Spirit. They'll go and dive and get some more. Always want to fly. Hands over the keys. The city belongs to the Radiant now.
The problem is that Tiny can go in and try to snipe one of the heroes, but that hero can either be Necro or pretty much no one else. The other heroes don't die from his combo. Like, they didn't combine. Storm Spirit jumping in, follow up by Earthshaker, Tiny. You go, Gary.
Oh, Storm. I mean, you're speaking about follow-up, and that was just perfect, right? Cold Snap, Tornado, EMP, Walrus Punch. The Cold Snap snaps again. And Storm Spirit forced to buy back. Reincarnation pop there.
Also, Silencer didn't have enough mana to cast Global Silence.
Oh, no.
That's the nerf he received, plus also he only has six stolen intelligence.
Dire's top shrine is under
Feels bad. Time to buy some mangoes, buddy. He does not have enough money. He does not have the disposable income to be buying exotic fruits. Iceberg trying to shift into Bloodstone, but there's no Orchid, no BKB, no Hex. Just trying to go and aim towards that late game. And fair enough, they've got Arc Warden, right? One of the heroes that you kind of want to be taking a little bit longer anyway, you know, past the average kind of 35 minutes. That Arc Warden does start to thrive. But now Invoker with BKB, Ag, Spirit Vessel, they'll move in towards Hester Joe, the Blink Echo, Avalanche and Global, the toss forward, and Hester Joe nearly had it. He BKB'd and he lifted his little wiggly butt to try and get that time lapse off. But the damage was substantial from the Dire. Now Biver getting caught. Blink in from Skitter though. That crit with the Sunstrikes. Cataclysm will not land because the Tornado keeps him controlled. Storm still dies.
Yeah, that's a dieback from Storm. 90 seconds.
Good Fisher. Keeps always want to fly alive. But for how long the cost? Well, the end of my sentence.
You can even see Wraith King buying Black King Bar. That's pretty unusual. You would see it way more often before he had that no reincarnation mana cost talent, so people wouldn't be able to burn your mana.
It really has been a, I would say a very good showing from Team Spirit that they know how to end. They've come into this, they've had a few sloppy mistakes here and there, but it's been reasonably crisp, and now they are ending the game. They're closing it out. They've got their BKBs, they've hit that timing after a good advantage early on, and GG is finally called by Winstrike in Game 1. Team Spirit, very commanding to begin with, a little bit sloppy in the middle, but good overall.
Yeah, Winstrike hasn't been playing great lately. Seems like Espada, in my opinion, is the second best team in CIS right now. They have the stability, let's say, strategy-wise, they also are doing a good job. But let's focus on this one. Team Spirit, they managed to pull off this such a greedy build. They had 5k net worth advantage 15 minutes in. I don't think a better team would allow them to do it.
I mean, Wraith King 5-0-11. He just did. He did. What you said? What, like 15 minutes in, he didn't use reincarnation, right?
Yeah.
Until at least level 2.
They were having so much problems on the top lane, so a lot of focus was drawn to that part of the map, and Wraith King on the bottom just kept free farming.
Yeah. Well, we'll take a short break. Best of threes, of course. Game 2 coming up in just a little bit. We'll see what Team Spirit can get up to, as we'll take a break for now.